The Galaxy S20 and the S20 Plus are here, Samsung's latest flagship phones. They've launched 4 this time, the S20 Ultra and the Z Flip. Well, I'm going to be getting my hands on them in just a little bit, but today we're going to take a look at the S20 and the S20 Plus and see what they're all about. Hey guys, Ash here from C4eTech, and if you do end up liking what you see here, please consider turning on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Let's now get this video started. Samsung have done pretty much everything we've come to expect of Samsung from their flagships, and then some here. Now, the S20, it's the smaller of the two. There is no E version this time, so this 6.2-inch panel-toting flagship is the smallest. That said, the S20 still feels pretty convenient to hold in one hand. I like what Samsung's done from a build perspective too. While they've not gone ahead and reinvented the wheel or anything with the S20 series, almost everything's been improved upon. We still get a glass sandwich design, but it's Gorilla Glass 6 to both the front and back. There are 3 cameras to the back of the regular S20, 4 for the S20 Plus, more on that in a bit. The S20 feels deceptively light. After using a lot of 200-gram plus phones, 160-ish grams feels feather light. You could say Samsung have nailed ergonomics. Of course, it is still glass, so it's slippery as all glass builds are. Now back in 2014, let's take a trip down memory lane. When the Galaxy Note 4 launched, Samsung made the jump from Full HD to Quad HD. Ever since, the display technology hasn't seen a drastic change. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there have been no changes. There have been quite a few major changes. For example, there have been edge panels, the move to infinity, the punch holes, HDR, but now this time, the display, it's received an update that feels quite as big as the Quad HD jump. At least, that's how it feels for me. That's because the S20 series gets 120Hz refresh rate panels with 240Hz touch sampling. The refresh rate going up 2x is why these displays are being marketed as Dynamic AMOLED 2x. They are super smooth, fluid displays, very fluid. These displays are driven by a top-of-the-line Snapdragon 865 chip in certain markets, and in others like here in India, the Exynos 990. There's also 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of UFS 3.0 storage with support for memory expansion via a hybrid slot. Now this display, it's amazing. I was awed by it from the moment I got my hands on these phones. It's not just the display either, it's the speed at which it responds. We still have an under-display ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. Now it's gotten better. Actually, it's more the software than the hardware, because Samsung have improved it even on the S10 Plus. I've been using the S10 Plus as my primary for a few days now, and there's been a price cut recently, so I've been working on a second review of the S10 Plus, and even with that phone, the fingerprint scanner feels snappier than ever before. So I'm not really surprised to see that it's quicker than ever on the S20. Now, it's not just that either. Right from moving around the interface to a few One UI 2.0 transitions, it all feels beautifully done. Everything complements that high refresh rate panel very well. Whether I'm using the 6.2-inch S20 single-handed or the 6.7-inch S20 Plus with both hands, the experience felt great. And if this were an ad, this is where we'd have an asterisk to the experience felt great part. That's because it's only as long as you restrict yourself to Full HD Plus. Because once you switch to Quad HD Plus, you're back on the regular old 60 Hz. So that is a bit of a bummer. But we are hearing that Samsung are going to be supporting 120 FPS in Quad HD via a software update. If and when that happens, the display experience here is going to be as close to perfect as it can be in 2020. While Quad HD Plus with 120 FPS might be harsh on the battery, Samsung is supposed to be solving that with a dynamic refresh rate option, again via a future update. With this, the refresh rate is expected to change by itself depending on the app in question. Now, to be fair, the battery capacities on these phones, they are nothing to scoff at either. The S20 has a solid 4000 mAh battery, while the S20 Plus 4500 mAh. That's 600 and 400 mAh up from the last gen respectively. That's quite an impressive bump that Samsung have managed to include. In fact, they've done that while still keeping the weight and even the overall form factor similar. Like for example, the S20 Plus, it has a 0.3-inch larger display and a 400 mAh higher capacity battery like I said. but it's just a smidge taller than the S10 Plus. It's even narrower and slimmer. From a weight perspective, it's just about 10 grams heavier, which is barely noticeable. Now, forget all that. What I really love about this phone here is the fact that we've gone back to the old power and volume key setup. Now, like I said, I've been using the S10 Plus for a bit, and that Bixby key was driving me nuts. I've reprogrammed the Bixby key to open up gallery, but every time I want to turn the display off, I keep hitting it. It's just the way my brain's been wired, I guess. I just keep hitting it every time. Every time I want to turn the display on, every time I want to turn the display off. Now that the first thing I noticed the moment I got my hands on the S20 and the S20 Plus, okay, the power key, the volume keys, they're back where they're supposed to be, and I absolutely love it. Anyway, jokes apart, now talking about the S10 Plus, this is a dbrand skin that I have on my S10 Plus, and the skins for the S20, my S20 and S20 Plus are on their way. I've had dbrand on my S10 Plus all year, and it's aged quite well, right? Dbrand has high quality, perfectly cut skins for most of the premium phones out there. Given all the glass backs we deal with all year, dbrand skins have not only helped freshen up the looks, but also help add a bit of protection and grip. Talking about grip, I've also been liking dbrand's grip case, which can also be personalized with skins. Anyway, to know more, I'll leave a link to dbrand in the description below. Please check out our sponsors dbrand if you haven't already. Now, the next major change, next major upgrade to these phones, it's got to be cameras. Both phones get the same 3 sensors to the back. The S20 Plus, it's got a 4th, that is a depth sensor as an added extra. So what are these 3 sensors? First, a 12 megapixel f1.8 with OIS. There is no dual aperture. Okay, I'm not too sad about losing that, but we've gone from f1.5 to 1.8. So is that a kind of downgrade? Not really, because the sensor size, it's gotten a lot larger. So the pixel size, it's gone from 1.4 microns to 1.8. So this should result in the f1.8 lens here still allowing for a lot more light in. Then we have a 64 megapixel f2 telephoto, again with OIS. This is supposed to provide 3x hybrid optical zoom and 30x software zoom. And it's this sensor that's relied upon for the famed 8K video capture. 8K, isn't that nuts? And finally, there's a 12 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide. This is from a resolution perspective down from the 16 megapixels on the S10. But again, the sensor size is what matters. The size of each pixel here has gone from 1 micron to 1.4. So on paper, these cameras seem to be major upgrades for the most part. And I say for the most part, since the selfie camera is still 10 megapixels, same sensor size, but it gets a f2.2 lens instead of f1.9. The depth sensor is gone too. Anyway, we'll take a closer look at all these cameras with sample images soon. So for now, this is the S20 and this is the S20 Plus, Samsung's newest flagship phones running on One UI 2.0. Samsung's kept a lot of what we've loved about the S10 series, and they seem to have improved upon a lot of other areas. For example, the 15-watt wireless charging and 9-watt reverse wireless charging, they are retained, while the fast charging is now up to 25 watts. In some markets, the S20 series are available with 5G. In India, it's LTE only. The S20 here starts at 67,000 rupees and the S20 Plus at 74,000 rupees. They are available for pre-order right now, and I'll have a more detailed video for you guys soon. And like I said, we'll take an in-depth look at the cameras, how the S20 stacks up to the competition, and a lot more in that video. You guys tell me what you want to know about the S20. If you have any questions about the S20, the S20 Plus, the Z Flip, that's a video that's going to come out really soon. What other videos would you want to see about these phones? Leave a comment down below and I will get those done. And I guess that is pretty much it. We get to the end of this video and it is now time I bid you adieu. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about this video. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. And thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.